Hello, this is Darren Martin with Learning Analytics. Today we're going to compare fractions visually. Let's get started. When you compare fractions visually, the first thing you have to do is draw a fraction bar for each fraction. The next thing you have to do is to make sure that the fraction bars are the same length. Next, we're going to look at the denominators for each fraction and then divide that fraction bar into equal parts. So the denominator here is 6, so I've divided this fraction bar into 6 equal parts. The denominator here is 7, so this fraction bar is divided into 7 equal parts. Next, we look at the numerator. And the numerator tells us how many parts are going to be used. So in the first fraction, 2/6, we see the numerator is 2, so we have 2 shaded parts of the 6. And the next fraction is 3/7, so we have 3 shaded parts of the 7. Next, we analyze to see which fraction bar or which fraction is greater. In looking at our line, the red line, we can see that 3/7 is greater than 2/6. Let's look at another example. So we have two fractions, 5/6 and 6/8. We also have a fraction bar for each fraction, and the fraction bars are the same length. Now we're going to look at the denominators for each fraction, and we're going to divide each fraction bar up by the number in the denominator. So this fraction has a 6 in the denominator, so we divided this fraction bar into 6 equal pieces. This fraction has an 8 in the denominator, so this fraction bar is divided into 8 equal pieces. Next, we're going to look at the numerator, and we're going to see how many parts we need to shade. In the top fraction, we have 5 in the numerator, so we need to shade 5 equal parts. In the second fraction, we have 6 in the numerator, so we need to shade 6 equal parts. Then we analyze, and we see which fraction is larger or greater. So our visual representation shows us that 5/6 is greater than 6/8. Let's look at one more example. We have two more fractions, 5/10 and 3/6. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we draw a fraction bar, and they're both for each fraction, and that both fraction bars are the same length. Next, we're going to look at the denominator of each fraction and then divide the fraction bars into equal parts. So in the first fraction, we have a 10 in the denominator, and we have a fraction bar that is divided into 10 equal parts. We have a 6 in the denominator in the second fraction, and the fraction bar is divided into 6 equal parts. Next, we're going to look at the numerator for each fraction. In the first fraction, the fraction on top, 5/10, we see that 5 is in the numerator. And then in the second fraction, we see 3 is in the numerator. So in the first fraction, we're going to have 5 shaded parts. And in the second fraction, we're going to have 3 shaded parts. Then we're going to draw a line. And then we see that the red line shows equal in both parts. So 5/10 and 3/6 are equal. Neither fraction is greater than the other. Again, this has been Darren Martin with Learning Analytics, and we've been comparing fractions visually. Thank you.